Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again, and today I'm going to bring you a quick review and a short look at Dungeon Defenders, a game on Steam, Xbox Live, and PSN that I think is a lot of fun. It combines a lot of the best aspects of a ton of games. Apparently Fraps is giving me some issues here. So there's tons of classes you can use. You can use Apprentice, Squire, Huntress, Monk, Barbarian, Countess, Ranger, Initiate, Adept, and Series EV. Now a few of those were DLC, but this game goes on sale quite often, so it'd be worth picking it up. Now right now I'm going to use the Adept, because that's who I'm playing with currently, and you can see I'm not a very high level, but the game's fairly simple. It's a loot-driven action tower defense game, so it's kind of a cross of Diablo / tower defense. Now, like I said, this game in Fraps is giving me tons of issues, so I'm going to play a private match and just show you some of this game alone. Okay, so here's the Tavern. In the Tavern you choose where to go or what to do, and there is a shop available that just has random items in it. So it has some pets for a few 100,000, or a couple 100,000, and it has weapons and armor. And that's really all there is to see here. So when you level up, you get to choose your build. You get to either have an attack-based build or a tower-based build, or sort of a happy medium, but in the middle of combat you can switch between characters and you can have up to 4 characters. So I prefer to specialize my characters, and this character here is a tower specialized character. So as you can tell, the weapons increase stats. There's attack power, elemental damage, attack speed, and weapon power and tower area in that weapon. So you just find these weapons and you can upgrade them throughout. Like if I were to click on this, it would cost me 6,650 souls to upgrade it, which I will do. And then I can increase the defense area of effect bonus, or one other thing. So that's all the explanation you're going to get there, and I will come back as soon as I'm in a level. So there are 5 difficulties here that you can choose: easy, medium, hard, insane, and nightmare. This game is being constantly updated, and nightmare is a recent addition. So right now I'm just going to play on easy since I'm playing alone and it's giving me trouble. And I'm going to go to the alchemical laboratory, which is the first area that has a boss battle in it. So like I said, this is a game that combines tower defense aspects with first person, or with adventuring mechanics. And so basically what you do is you start out by gathering these chests at the beginning, and they appear in several places around the map. So you get them and they increase your total number of mana. Mana is what you use to build traps and to use abilities. Now there aren't that many abilities per hero. As you can see right now I have Detonate Trap, Heal Self, Instant Upgrade, and I need to be level 20 to use Purity Bomb. So these are pretty self-explanatory traps, or abilities. And if I go to defenses, every class has 5 total defenses. I have Magic Missile Tower, which is non-elemental, Fireball Tower, Lightning Tower, and Deadly Strike Tower, which I need to be level 15 to unlock. So because I don't have much mana to start out with, I'm going to be making Magic Missile Towers at all points of defense. So you can just use a hotkey for that, and it's hotkeyed to 6. So I'm going to put 2 around here. And 1 at each other spawn point. So magic missile towers aren't the most efficient towers, and they don't have much range, but they're non-elemental. So occasionally elemental enemies will come out of these traps, and they will be immune to some of your elemental traps, or towers, I should say. So you're going to want some non-elemental damage hanging around, especially if you are a tower class like I am. So I have 120 mana here, and this area here is covering 2 doors, so I'm going to go ahead and summon a lightning tower, which does splash damage. at this choke point where it will hit absolutely everything. Now, for some reason I start on wave 3. I think it's because I've already beaten the area, but I'm not entirely sure. While I'm at it, I will also summon a magical blockade, just to make sure no one gets to my towers and starts attacking them. So, gonna need a second magical blockade too. As you can see, this was fairly good positioning because it can hit the enemies right as they come out of the door as well. So I like that. So I think I'm going to take a small break and just come back when something interesting happens. I will see you guys in a few seconds. So this time I've placed a lightning tower here and kind of barricaded the exit points. You can't place the barricades too close to the actual exit points or spawn locations of the monster, but you can place it close enough to make it worthwhile. So, I highly recommend this game. The graphics are a bit odd and the controls at times can be kind of awkward, but overall it has really addictive gameplay. You can play online with friends, it's available cross-platform, and something quite unusual, you can play it 4-player split screen on your computer if you have 4 gamepads or if you can hook your computer up to a TV. And that is unusual and I quite enjoy that. It doesn't happen in many games. So there's a fire elemental creature. If I had, let's say, a flame tower here, I would not be able to hit him with it and he would just walk up and start wailing on my defenses. Thankfully I have enough non-elemental damage to go around. So this game does have its slight flaws. I find the controls to be a bit awkward, and especially if you're using a melee class or if you're doing a melee focused build, I find that sometimes you start attacking into corners and it will not let you break out of the pattern or get away, and you end up getting some deaths that way just because of bad control. But I love tower defense games, I love co-op games, so this is really a game for just having tons of fun with friends, playing online, doing all that good stuff. See, I have 300 mana again, so I'm going to set up a few more towers. I'm going to set up one more electric tower right here. So now I have 2 elements and just non-elemental damage hanging out, which is going to be very helpful. And I'm also going to barricade this area. So I haven't really shown you any of the melee combat because wizards can actually also be melee characters. And actually, just because of the equipment I have a fair amount of melee damage myself. So let me find some enemies so I can show you what the wizard can do. Of course, all weapons have different effects, and some fire, the wizard's weapons specifically fire like spread shots that are rainbows and get quite fancy. I've seen them hanging out before. But I have a charged shot which does a bit of AoE damage. I have just regular uncharged shots, and I have the old "you shall not pass," which makes everyone go flying everywhere. So those are the basic wizard moves that all staffs have. Sometimes it's AoE, sometimes it's not. But I've better start preparing for the boss, who basically flies immediately to the middle, so if you're not ready for him, he can catch you off guard. I will see you guys at the boss, and that will be the end of this review. One thing I should mention is that this game has an interesting feature where you can set towers with one character and then swap in the build phase to other characters, so you can use all your characters in any given game and level them all up equally. I thought that was a cool little feature, and again one that's not seen very often. I'll see you guys next time something exciting happens. So I'm just about to start the final wave, which is a full wave and then a boss. So I thought I would discuss the different character classes. Right now I'm being a DLC character class, which it isn't too bad because this DLC character class is available as a male version. Like the apprentice is basically this class. There are differences between the male and female, but not many. Basically, each class has its different purposes. The squire is a class that focuses on really short-range towers that do tons and tons of damage. The monk is is a class that focuses on damage and on using auras to ensnare or entrap your enemies while using auras to help your allies, such as healing auras. The wizard is an all-out powerhouse that has really effective magical towers that are good at range. And I'm forgetting somebody, but I forget who. And the rogue is a ranged combat character who can plant traps and use different types of guns and different abilities to ensnare monsters. So this game does become quite difficult, and I have failed at several levels already. Mostly because I've tried to play alone quite often, and it is easier if you get into a team. But as you can tell, these last waves, this is on easy mode and I should be playing medium, can get quite difficult, and they are managing to sort of tear through some of my defenses, so I'm going to have to repair these. The real problem is these dynamite guys who appear and who just do mad charges at the barricades you put up. Ooh. So as overpowered as I am, I'm taking damage at this level. It can become quite difficult. If you're worried about difficulty curve, it has a considerable amount for you to explore, and it always has the increased difficulties of the later levels, which is always worth your time. Not to mention, as you increase the level to hardcore or insane mode, you get better loot, you get better items, the gameplay becomes more exciting, and the waves become much, much harder. It has about the same difficulty progression as Diablo, like I said, where one difficulty up is about 2 times harder. So, as you can tell, it's up to 372 out of 386 enemies killed. So I'm about to be able to fight the boss, and hopefully I'll be able to show you beating the boss and not me getting destroyed by the boss, which is a lot more likely to happen. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and sell some defenses here to give me room to make a couple more towers to put here in the middle to immediately fuck over the boss. Excuse my language. So the reason I'm so nervous about this boss is because trying to solo it, I have died before. And I thought I had plenty of defenses in place, but it just completely destroyed me. And the boss approaches. So as you can tell, it gives me a bit of time to hang out and to prepare my defense. And for me, that involves just placing as many magic missile towers as possible everywhere. Okay. Well, I've used up all my points now, so basically all I can do is wait and hope. And maybe place one more lightning tower right here. So I have the feeling that this game calls back to a lot of other games. I can't directly reference it, but the Demon Lord looks a bit like Diablo, and the story is rather funny. We're the child of crazy warriors who have left, and we accidentally unleash the evil that they sealed here in their younger days. So now we're fighting this. Oh yeah, I'm going to completely destroy this thing. So, I'm going to apologize instantly for the anticlimactic boss battle there. Just kind of instantly dead. If you leave mana on the ground, you don't have to worry about it. It will transfer to your bank after you're done. Oh, and I leveled up too, so one more time I'll show you all the resistances and the upgrades you can get for at least the wizard. These two tend to be unique per class. And actually, the Adept so far has the least useful I've seen. I guess instant upgrade can be useful in a pinch, but this undead one I haven't had too much chance to use. Anyways, I would highly, highly recommend this game. Recommend taking a look at it, getting it, playing it with a couple of friends, at least in split screen mode. Anyways, this was Yessik, and I'll see you guys next time. But seriously, get this game, it's pretty awesome.